What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how is it going?
I'm actually keeping very well, Connor. I'm very excited and energised to do a show with you today. Gotta be polite, folks.
Why did that sound sarcastic?
Oh, because it was. I'm in bits.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I feel like we've said this a few times this year, but I think that's just a state of global warming. That it is currently Ireland's hottest day on record ever while we record this.
It's so hot. We're not built for this. I can't stress that enough. Actually, here's the thing. Did you know I once trampolined so much that my kidneys nearly stopped working?
Welcome to Movie Mondays. Imagine if this was somebody's first show.
Look, get to know me, listeners. No, I trampolined a whole bunch when I was on holidays, and it was so hot that I became so dehydrated that my kidneys hurt so much that I couldn't twist or move my spine at all. And then I drank 6 litres of water in one go.
And that, I'm sure that sorted you out. Didn't make you sicker.
Well, I'm still here, I suppose. So
yeah, I suppose. The
lads are still going strong. The lads being my kidneys, of course.
Of course. Shaun, this is Movie Mondays.
You have spent the week.
You can already tell that it's hot and we just don't care. And so...
here's the thing, I care too much, Connor.
Yeah, you care too much about not the movie news but the heat.
If I didn't care, I wouldn't be here, I'll be honest.
That's true. But Shaun, we're starting this week with news that last week was a bit of a detour for us because we had to do a Black Widow review, so that meant we had a bit of a gap in our news cycle that we normally cover every week. And it meant that we missed out on a big piece of news, potentially... Question mark?
The Avengers 5 trailer, of course.
The Avengers 5 trailer is what we're discussing now first. We're starting this week with news of Mr. Huge Jacked Man, Shaun. Because he had the movie world a-talking last week.
Oh, I know what the story is now.
He was teasing, we think, his return as Wolverine to the MCU, or that's what it looked like.
Yeah, it was a photo of him with a Marvel executive. Was it Kevin Feige or was it another person?
It was Kevin Feige.
Oh, a photo of himself and Kevin.
He posted 2 photos. So he posted on his Instagram. Now this is so 21st century. He posted on his Instagram story. Fuck off. But
who gives a shit?
He put up 2 Instagram stories. One is that it was a posted artwork by Boss Logic of X-Men's the claws. The claws of Wolverine, as they're pronounced. And then everyone's thinking, okay, well, he just likes the character that he played. What can you do? But then the next day, he posted it up, or he followed that up with a photograph of Jackman posing alongside Marvel boss, Mr. Kevin Feige.
Okay, and Kevin Feige in charge of the MCU, as we well know. And
he's pretty heavily in there, yeah.
Yeah, and Hugh Jackman, very established in the world of comic book movies, but not connected to the MCU as of yet.
No.
Now... couple of things this could mean. He could just be popping up as a cameo, you know? It could just be hey, it's all
another
connected.
Fuck off.
Another fuck off. He's called Huge. They just call him Hugh Jackman. He just appears as Hugh Jackman in the X. When they introduce the mutants, he just plays a regular man.
But his powers has nothing to do with Wolverine. He can grow his nails or some shit.
I was thinking it was just a regular human that
oh right,
he he pops up and he's they go around mutant hunting, and then they tap Hugh Jackman on the shoulder and he turns around and he has the cigar in his mouth and everything like that, and then like whoever's playing Charles Xavier just goes, sorry, I thought you were someone else, and then like that's the end.
You look so similar to a guy that I knew.
Have you ever seen The Prestige?
The Greatest Showman? Have you heard of it? But what do you think this means, really, if we're honest with ourselves?
I'd say, look, they'd be mad if they didn't talk about it, because we know they're working on mutants. It would be huge for the marketing if Wolverine is back, you know?
Yeah.
Presumably they might be doing like an Old Man Logan thing, and then maybe you bring in a younger Wolverine later. They've done it, and they've done it so well.
And it was really good. So why do it again?
Unless you say that all of that's canon. But it can't be, because that means that all of it's canon, and that's awful.
Now, that does imply from the ending of Loki that you could do many different things, I suppose.
Yeah, it could be like a different timeline. What I will say as well, like they have worked, Kevin Feige and Hugh Jackman have worked together before. He was producer on like X2 and things like that.
So they do know each other. Now, they could just be a chance meeting, Shaun. It might not have anything to do with the MCU.
Yeah, or like he could have just been in the offices and he was like, hey, there's Kevin that I worked with before. This will be an innocuous Instagram post that won't make everyone lose their shit.
Now, what about if this just implies that he will be appearing in Deadpool 3?
That is possible. That is very possible.
I can see that happening a lot more than a Wolverine, obviously, like him coming in as the X-Men Wolverine for the Marvel's like X-Men universe.
What you could have in a way, yeah, I do think you're right that he won't be Marvel's Wolverine. You could have it that, do you remember in Logan, there was this premise that the X-Men comics existed in the Fox X-Men universe.
Yeah.
What if you had it that, similar to that, the Fox movies existed in the MCU?
Oh,
and so
okay.
Deadpool is like, I'm in the MCU, I can finally hang out with Wolverine. And then he goes, and it's actually like Hugh Jackman. And he's like, no, I just play Wolverine. I'm just an actor. Like, that would be like a head nod to Deadpool and all that kind of shit.
I mean, yeah, I suppose they could. Like, really it's the thing of, you want Jackman in because he's such a big name, and they like the idea that Jackman comes in. But in reality, if you're going to do another X-Men universe from scratch, I think you need to cast another Wolverine. And even if you do Old Man Logan, that movie already exists and is absolutely excellent. Like, it's already there. So why do something again? I don't think Kevin Feige will do it again unless he can do it better, and I don't think you can do it better. So no. I think he'll find somebody else, and I think this could just be very similar to like in Deadpool 3 at the end. It'll probably be like an after credits cameo where like Deadpool just meets them randomly and they talk shit for like a minute and everyone freaks out.
Yeah, or like they could have just been like I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him in as like a Wolverine consultant for their new guy. Like, you know, they're just like, here's someone who's embodied Alden, like here's someone who like lived Wolverine for 20 years. Let's bring him in with the new guy and just like give him some pointers or something like that. Like he's just like he might just be giving a shitload of money to the production.
Maybe. Like, I think he's probably involved somewhere along the line, and I think Kevin Feige would want him to be involved in some capacity, even as an advisor. But yeah, I don't think this has the writing of Wolverine, like another Wolverine Origins. I don't think they're involving Hugh Jackman in that. I don't think he wants to do that, because I mean the workout shit that he has to do for that is so superhuman.
Yeah, I think he's done with all of that, and I think he was quite happy to leave Wolverine where he did, which is dead in a grave.
Always the best way to go out. Go to high. So Wolverine could be coming back. Is Hugh Jackman in the MCU? We don't really know, but what we do know is it's slightly being teased, which would also apply to me that the PR people at Disney or Marvel are like, let's start ramping this up because you're going to be in the Deadpool 3 trailer.
Yeah. Sure, we'll wait until like Hugh Jackman is giving an interview and he just spills the beans. Because he's Hugh Jackman like and he can do that. Yeah, he'll just be like, yeah, I'm in it, it's fine. People will still see it even if I say that. It doesn't change.
What's Kevin Feige going to do? I'm Hugh Jackman. I was
It'd
in
be like
Miz.
Alfred Molina spoiling things.
Damn it, Molina. You're so damn talented, but I hate you. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun. And the heat's already getting to me, by the way. It is.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
I'm sweating.
Look, not to be too graphic, but I am dripping, lads.
Yeah. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this involves your favourite director of mine, Mr. Zachary Snyder, Shaun.
Oh, it could have gone any way there.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Zack Snyder, he's been involved in lots of stuff recently. He was recently involved in the DC universe somewhere along the line.
Army of the Dead, correct.
Army of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, that man
300?
who was made of steel, 300, his whole filmography. Watchmen, of course. He's been involved in a lot of stuff. But here's the thing. He has his next movie already lined up, Shaun.
Oh my God.
You're not going to... Well, I was going to say you're not going to like this. But it's going to be based on his scrapped Star Wars pitch for a film. Boom! Zack's back. And he's doing a Star Wars style film.
Zack's going to space. Zack Snyder's space opera. I don't hate that, to be fair. Like, I just don't like the way Zack Snyder makes Batman, and a lot of his other things. But like, it's like Dawn of the Dead is good. Like Army of the Dead, by all accounts, is good. I've still not seen it. And then Watchmen has its moments, I would say. Hallelujah. And
but there are some good moments, but it also has some hallelujah.
Also, it's a lot of hallelujah. It's an odd choice.
Weird. Yeah.
Just look, it's no. But now he can do the exact same scene, but set to Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
No, he still plays Hallelujah.
So that's Hallelujah in its face. And
they're still in a blimp somehow.
This I feel like this, like similar to how when Tarantino was apparently doing a Star Trek movie. I'm like, that's something different. Let's have a look at that.
I think we a lot of people thought that we don't like Zack Snyder in general. I think you can like Zack Snyder's films, but not like his take on Superman and Batman. And it personally, for me, I don't think the DCEU should have like put their flag on him as the guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, to some people, maybe he is the guy. But personally, for me, not so much. Obviously, 300 is an amazing film. Dawn of the Dead is great. Man of Steel has his moments as well. But I think with his next film, he's going to be like... I think he's probably one of the most famous directors nowadays. Especially with all of the Restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
has nothing but helped him.
Name one other director that's ever had that behind them going into their next project.
So would you like to know the report of the movie Rebel Moon, Shaun?
Oh, I would love to know the report.
So, the brief logline for the movie is as follows. The story is set in motion when a peaceful colony on the edge of the galaxy is threatened by the armies of a tyrannical regent named Balasaurus. Desperate people dispatch a young woman with a mysterious past to seek out warriors from neighbouring planets to help them make a stand.
Right, okay, so it's like the Outer Rim kind of settlers fighting for their lives. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like a weird sci-fi thing where they go find champions of different worlds to defend the universe.
Some kind of Highlander scenario?
Some kind of Predators scenario?
Some kind of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, actually, Mortal Kombat, yeah, that's pretty good.
It's pretty much identically to Mortal Kombat.
I mean, this idea, do you think that it was originally a Star Wars idea, and I'm assuming it was turned down. It was probably the the newest versions, and he probably pitched this, and they said they didn't want to do this because they said, Zack, this is a story. We don't need a story. We're making it up as we go. Leave.
We're flying by the seat of our pants here. But it could have also been rejected that maybe they knew they were going to like the Outer Rim kind of deal with Palpatine on Exegol, I think. So maybe there's some element of that you just wanted, no, that's our place. You can't go there. But that sounds like an interesting space story to tell. Like,
yeah.
Like, aside from all the fucking wizards and, like, destiny and all that, just like, no, there's a planet being attacked. Let's get a ragtag team together. He loves a ragtag team, Zack Snyder. Go on. So, 300. You know, they were a ragtag team of about 300 people.
Of about 200 and change.
200 and change, yeah, you know, Leonidas, he had his whole Thermopylae, it was a whole thing. But then Army of the Dead, you know,
yes.
Ragtag team, putting together a crew. And then others, Dawn of the Dead probably, zombies, they're rags. They wear rags.
Stop saying rags.
Rags? No, I can't stop saying rags. Lose me rag.
Look, I think that this could be a really interesting way for him to go, because think of the cinematography alone in like space in a weird way. Like, he could do some pretty cool shots.
How's the slow-mo going to work in zero gravity?
I mean, zero gravity already slow. So what's slower than being slow? Ice cold. All right. Oh, I'd fucking love some ice right now. That'd be class. Oh boy. So yeah, Zack Snyder is going to go down the sci-fi route. I mean, all fair play to him. Let's see what happens. Like, yeah, who cares?
I have a request actually. Get Denis Villeneuve. Get him out of here. Give me Zack Snyder's Dune right now. Oh, and so are we thinking? Like, would it be better or worse? Because, I mean, Villeneuve's pretty good. It would be different. It would happen. It would be filmed. They'd make one. People might not like it. And then there'd be a massive campaign to make the second one. Forever. Every time he does, like, a shit film from now on, he's like, just wait. They're coming. I'm going to flip this switch and with a tweet that says, my version is better. And then... it's all over for you, Warner Brothers. He's taking down Warner Brothers one movie at a time. One remake. Is he done with Warner Brothers now? Because Star Wars is a Disney thing, so... yeah, but this isn't Star Wars. It's just like a Star Wars pitch that was... I think it got turned away when Disney bought it in like 2012, so I think he's had this script for quite a while. Fair enough. But he was too busy working on Batman versus Superman. Yeah, crafting exactly. Immaculate dialogue for the final battle. Trying to work out that script. Trying to get everything perfect. So, Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news. And this involves a movie that we didn't feel like we cared about. Oh. That has since added nothing but gold along the way. And that is one... Indiana Jones 5. Now, we know the problems that it's had, whereas I was going to say Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford has, injured himself. He can barely move anymore. I think every one of his big movies is set out to kill him slowly. Yes, and if not that, he'll crash his plane on a runway for no reason. But one thing that Indiana Jones has had is that its cast and crew has been so good that we are in a weird position that we didn't want Indiana Jones 5, but you include James Mangold, director of Logan, who we talked about already. Then you've got Harrison, he's there. Oh, let's add Phoebe Waller-Bridge, a bit of Mads Mikkelsen. Just let's throw a few of these guys in. John Williams is back, Steven Spielberg producing. Sure, what could go wrong? But now we have one more addition to the cast in a sort of Knives Out situation. Shia? Is it Shia? Antonio Banderas has joined Indiana Jones 5 as well. Oh my god. Okay. How do we connect this to the Spy Kids universe, is my question. Or Puss in Boots. How do we connect it to Puss in Boots? There has to be maybe both of their mothers are called Martha. That's good.
That's good.
That's a good cast. Like, for any other movie, I would say that would be an unreal cast. Is Banderas coming back in a big way in terms of Hollywood?
I mean, last year he got an Oscar nomination for Pain and Glory, I think it was. So,
is this like the Banderas?
I don't think so. I think he needs like a True Detective on top.
Pretty good, actually, yeah. What
he
if he's
like
in Knives Out?
I just assume everyone's in Knives Out. Is he not in Knives Out?
He could be. He's working on the crew for Knives Out.
I also think he's in Uncharted. He's in Uncharted with Tom Holland as well. Yeah, he's in that film. So maybe it is a bit of a Bandera. What'd you say, Bandera?
A Bandera songs. I'll be honest. I had no information about his career, but I just wanted to say Bandera songs.
Okay, that makes sense. We have like James Mangold directing, and we have all of these cast mates in here. Shaun, I'm going to ask you again. With every piece of news we get about this film, is this film going to be good?
I don't know anymore. If you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have said it would have been a train wreck. But it sounds like, the more I think about it, the more I think Indiana Jones isn't going to be the main character.
Oh yeah, but I feel like it gets to the point where obviously Harrison Ford, I mean, what did he turn, 79 the other day? Like
106? I don't know.
Fair play to him. He doesn't want to do every scene. So let's pack it out with a very good cast that we can kind of bounce things off of and balance it better, that he doesn't have to be there every day on set.
Yeah, and then you also have scope to, like, you know, expand into other stories, because they're never going to let Indiana Jones as a franchise die. So you get these established excellent actors, and you have them be like the supporting roles who can then go on their own adventures, and they'll be called like Montana Fitz or something like that. I don't know.
That was quick.
Let's try my best. I've always got an Indiana Jones knockoff in my back pocket just in case.
Ohio Johnson.
Ohio Johnson. I love it. Arkansas Taylor.
New Mexico Franklin.
Albuquerque O'Neill. We can do this all day, Connor.
California Lawler. California Lawler sounds like a wrestler. Like,
it does,
the guy that comes out with sunglasses and a Hawaii shirt, and he's just like chill.
He has like the inflatable ring around him, like on the entrance. Yeah. And his signature move is that he pulls in a diving board from nowhere.
And then his finisher involves a coconut, of course.
Definitely.
He strangles them with the luau. Is that what it's called?
A lay.
The lay. Sorry, the lay. Yeah. Just strangles them. They're knocked out, lad. I'm done. I'm Hawaii all the way. And then just hulas out.
He hulas out. Yeah. He's got the coconut bra on and the grass skirt.
No, I think that's the guy from 50 First Dates now we're describing.
I've not seen 50 First Dates.
What? How have you not seen 50 First Dates?
I legitimately judged it by its cover, and I thought it was uninteresting.
I mean, it's a good family rub, is what I'll say.
Is it though? Yeah. Maybe I have seen it and I've forgotten it. Isn't that the premise of 50 First Dates?
No, that's not the premise of 50. You've got Barrymore. I mean, you've got Sandler. And this is like 2003 Sandler. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's just off of Happy Gilmore and Big Daddy and
he's flying high. Like Sandler's
Billy Madison.
Sandler in 03, he's Brad Pitt.
You could do no better.
He's Al Pacino in 03.
He's 03's Al Pacino, of course.
That's what they said about him in the Oscars. Like, he was so unlucky to miss out that year. Unlucky.
He's a real uncut gem.
So, Shaun, Indiana Jones 5. You've got Mangold. You've got now Banderas, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Mads Mikkelsen. You've got Harrison Ford. What are we saying, a yay or nay to him fighting aliens and now improving on that?
They have to reconcile with the fact, first of all, that aliens exist. After that, they will probably be looking for some kind of artifact. And there'll be a humorous scene where Harrison Ford refuses to dig. He refuses to dig a hole because he's 112 in this franchise.
And I think it'll probably be Phoebe Waller-Bridge on the other end of that. She's like rolling her eyes like, oh man, why do I gotta dig this hole?
Oh, why are we... Oh no, the abandoned landmine field. Oh no.
The abandoned land. Better put all our landmines in that field, but spread them out, just in case.
Forget about them. No, don't give it any kind of repeating pattern. We don't want them figuring it out.
But they're abandoned, boss. Shut the fuck up.
And we abandoned them for a reason.
You're never going to make it here with that kind of attitude. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this involves a movie that has had 3 films, that the last one came out, I think, 15, maybe 17 years ago. We have The Matrix 4, Shaun. News this week, we have had a bit of a plot leak, we think.
Interesting. Or is this just what The Matrix wants us to think?
That's a good point. Are we in a Matrix now? Who knows?
Someone needs to turn on a fan because we're overheating, I believe. That joke could have been so much better, but I'm actually in bed.
Nobody can see it, but I seen your eyes die halfway through the sentence.
I was halfway through the sentence, so I had to finish it, but I knew it was going to be shit.
So yeah, the plot we think has been leaked for Matrix 4, because we were kind of the opinion, Shaun, Matrix 3, it was pretty substantial in how it left it, I would say.
Pretty definitive end to a trilogy. Yeah.
And could you just remind everyone what happened at the end of the last one?
Oh, right. Okay, so Neo fights a bunch of Agent Smiths. But then he realises that the reason Agent Smith is around is because he's a virus, but Neo's body is in Machine City. So what Neo does is that he lets Agent Smith assimilate him, thereby making Agent Smith be in Machine City so the machines can erase him. They then reboot the Matrix for the 7th time, I think.
7 times the charm. Everyone knows that.
And then they get rid of Agent Smith and it's a brand new world and everyone can go about their day. And then... Neo there's always a 1 in the Matrix, and then Neo is now a sunset or something, and then the Oracle is like, it's all grand in the end, and then it ends. And I had questions, but then I gave up on them because
around 2007.
Yeah, and there's a primary character is called the Merovingian. And it's fucking ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous.
That's a pretty good name. I think you just throw a load of letters into Google Chrome and just see what happens.
It's no fucking Dakota Fanning.
Johnson.
Oh, no.
Actually, Dakota Johnson's an actual human.
It's an actual human. I failed. I failed
it's
you
Dakota
all.
Johnson, Indiana Jones, but nobody's told her.
That would be a twist in the Matrix.
So what we're talking with The Matrix 4 is that, according to sources, The Matrix 4 will reportedly pick up some 60 years after the events of Matrix Revolutions, with the simulated world now rebooted. And there have been significant changes from the world we last left. Not all are still alive, and the world has a divergent feel from the one Neo first entered all those years ago, which is all random talk for it's a sequel.
It's also random talk for, it's no longer said that the peak of society was in the early 90s. I imagine it's going to be like modern technology now.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to say, the whole war with the humans and the machines was just resolved in the real world.
Yeah, it says the remaining humans no longer live in fear of machines, and some even work with the humans. The rumour also provides some insight into the absence of former leader Morpheus, who has now passed away, and Jada Pinkett Smith's character has now taken his place, with the actress due to be aged up for the movie.
Right, okay. Yeah, pretty good reason why. Yeah, I suppose if it's 60 years later. 60 years in Matrix time or real time?
It doesn't say. I think it's Matrix.
I realise I'm asking a lot of you for the leak, by the way.
I didn't write the script, I will say.
What happens at the end, Connor?
60 years and... I don't know, 60 years and one of them. Which one is better for plot?
Neither, I would say.
Okay. Now, this might surprise you, Shaun, but the peace between the humans and the machines is tenuous, with events leading to the return of Neo. That is a shock, because I didn't know he was in this film.
I didn't know Keanu Reeves was coming back. It's not been heavily publicised at all. Marvel could learn a thing or two from these Matrix people.
I have one final piece, and that is that it's unknown how or if he will be back in his real life form. Neo will be working to free a version of Trinity from the existing Matrix, as Trinity has now changed her name to Tiffany and lives a very normal life with her husband and kids within the Matrix.
Right. Interesting. So she's like blue-pilled at that point. Like, she fully buys into the Matrix.
Yes.
Right. But then she doesn't have a body to go back to, surely, in the real world. But neither does Neo, I guess.
Yeah, so... Well,
I mean, his body got carried away in like a Jesus ceremony by the machines.
That's pretty good. I didn't understand that
messaging.
That imagery was a bit lost on me, so I really wanted to listen to the commentary, the DVD commentary, just to kind of pick out what they were going for.
You know, you didn't get the whole like solitary saviour.
No.
Lot of trinities being talked of.
No. What? I thought it was about the revolution of like the new age, like industrial revolution.
Oh, like how wheels spin and revolve. No, you've gotten confused, Connor.
Oh, fuck. I'm mixing that up with Pirates of the Caribbean too.
Yeah. Look, you'd be forgiven. Connor. Both of them take place in Bethlehem, of course.
So what do you think of this idea that this would be the way that they'd go do this plot? Because me and you were kind of talking for the last few months of why is this movie being made, and also what direction are they going with. So if this is true, now we don't know if it is, how would you feel about this being the plot of the film?
It's as good a plot as any, I would say. I'm fully expecting Keanu Reeves to just be like, Neo, to just be like someone that exists in the Matrix. I don't know if he'll have a real world like equivalent. I think it might be that like Jada Pinkett Smith's character needs help because of the Uneasy Alliance and decides to go into the Matrix and look for Neo. And Neo doesn't fight for the humans until he sees Trinity. And then maybe there's some way that they could live a normal life together or something like that.
And I would suppose Carrie-Anne Moss would be the main character then, where he's kind of like Morpheus.
Yes, that like she's the one waking up to it at that point, which is interesting. But like, does it have the same effect seeing that happen again? Yeah,
I think really the main question everybody was asking about this film is that does it warrant its existence?
Yeah, should it be? Well, do any of us?
Do any of us is the main question. That's a big Matrix question. But I mean, if you're going to come back with a film from 2003 to 2022 or 2023 or whenever this movie's coming out, like, is there a point? Like, is there a reason why you're doing it? Is there an idea that you've come up with and thought, this has to be made because it adds to the lore of what we've already done? Or are you just cashing in on the fact that you've done Matrix 3 times 18 years ago and you're like, fuck it, this is going to be a cash cow?
See, the reason I think it's that they have more stories to tell is because it is the same writers and the same directors working on it. Like, it's not just like the studio said, hey, we own the rights to The Matrix, let's crank out another one. Like, I feel like they might have been ruminating on this in the last 20 years and be like, oh, here's where that story would end up.
And yeah, and I think Keanu has also said that the movie is like a love story, but so that could go along with the line that like Neo and Trinity are like at the story centre, but they've swapped roles. Well, not swapped, but like he's moved on to the Morpheus role and she's the main character, but it devolves into a love story between the two of them. Yeah, it's... I suppose I just don't know where the conflict is. Like, it's all very well to say there's like the alliance might not be so easy, but like it needs to make sense as to why that breaks down after 60 years and the machines generally being peaceful for that time. It says Neil Patrick Harris is also in it as playing a role called the Analyst. And so I'm assuming he'll just be exposition a lot. His character is said to have helped in creating the peace between machines and humans.
Right, okay. So he's probably like he's like neutral ground pretty much. He's like, I'm working for both sides.
Well, can we take bets on how far into the movie he turns evil?
No, and he was behind the whole thing all along. I would give it end of the second act, I would say.
Oh, I'd say end the first. I'm thinking end the first act, he does something sus. And you're kind of like...
look, I think end the first, yeah, it does something sus, but end the second act, that's when it's revealed. That's when our character's like, oh no, we've been misled.
Are we describing every movie?
Look, there is a definitive structure, really, isn't there?
I don't think you cast Neil Patrick Harris and then like have him just be another person. I think he can be shit-eating grin bad guy all day.
Or Nightwing. He could also be Nightwing.
Can you see Neil Patrick Harris as Nightwing?
Doesn't he voice Nightwing?
He does in the anime. I meant like real life.
I could see him. I think he could do Nightwing. He certainly sounds like him.
If Nightwing wanted to dance and sing, I think he's got the moves.
Yeah. Nightwing would dance and sing. Nightwing's a gymnast and shit.
He would. And you know, Patrick Harris, he's flexible. I bet he is with all that tap dancing he's doing.
I think he might actually be Nightwing. I think he might exact vigilante justice upon the streets of LA. LA Townsend. That'd be a cool name.
LA Townsend. LA Harris?
La Harris.
No, I think that you're getting into Flo Rida situation.
Look, there are worse places to be.
Look, so Shaun, we're moving on from Matrix 4 to a movie that I only came to realise is being made this week, but I very quickly had to do so much research because it, like, you know, every so often, every few years, like Knives Out, where we just get a film that just has a really, like, mad all-star ensemble cast.
Yes.
That, like, you're thinking, what the fuck? But it's not for, like, it's not for a sequel. Or it's not for something that already exists. This is its brand new own thing. And it just has this cast that it's slowly built up over time. And then
people just sign on to it.
Yeah, once you hear everyone announced, you're like, shit, that better be good. Well, Shaun, let's start off. Because Matthew Vaughn's next movie will be an all-star spy movie called Argylle. And so we've got Matthew Vaughn, and he's pretty famous because he did Kingsman, of course, and he was pretty good in that.
And Kingsman 2.
And Kingsman 2, not so good, but look, we can't have everything, but Kingsman 1 is excellent. Now, Argylle is based on Ellie Conway's debut novel of the same name.
Of course.
And the novel hasn't even been published yet, but the script is being written by Wonder Woman writer Jason Fuchs, and it follows the world's greatest spy, Argylle, as he is caught up in a globe-trotting adventure. So they're also hoping it will be the first in at least a trilogy of films.
Bold to announce that straight away, I think.
True, but hang on, because so you've got the writer of Wonder Woman, Jason Fuchs. You've got Matthew Vaughn directing. That's not a bad one too so far. So, what if I said to you, the all-star cast includes smack bag number 1. You tell me how you feel about each one.
Okay.
Henry Cavill.
Oh, big fan! Oh, I'm already in.
Matthew Vaughn, Henry Cavill. How are you feeling?
I really like Henry Cavill.
He's so handsome and so handsome. Good.
The man has he's got range. He can do it all. The Witcher 2, the Witcher season 2 is coming. He likes Warhammer. I love Henry Cavill so much.
So, okay, I'll just say the cast
to be his friend.
Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill. Why don't we add just a dash of Sam Rockwell? We're just going to put a little bit of Sam Rockwell in.
Fucking hell, Sam Rockwell, he's so good.
All-star spy movie. Matthew Vaughn. It's a spy movie, remember, directed by Matthew Vaughn, who is very talented at that area. So we've got Henry Cavill. We've got Sam Rockwell.
Surely, there's no one else.
Who could we get? Does anyone have Bryce Dallas Howard's number? We'll get Bryce Dallas Howard.
Howard.
Sure, why not?
Lads. Bryce Dallas Howard, you say?
Wait.
The very same Bryce Dallas Howard.
So how are we feeling about the cast right now?
Pretty good, I would say.
Strong enough.
Oh, you could stop there, Connor. I don't think I can take much more, personally.
Well, I'm thinking...
Matthew Vaughn did Stardust. That's an unreal movie.
Oh, man, Matthew Vaughn is so good. Like, completely... I don't know, I was going to say underrated, but I think he's very heavily rated. But
I think
his name should be known more, because I think he's amazing.
Yes. And sorry, I interrupted you. So we're following up Bryce Dallas Howard with...
Yeah, we need a bit of muscle. We need some muscle. And somebody who's pretty big these days, Mr. John Cena, will be added into the cast. In a sort of, I suppose, Batista role.
Yeah, a man to make Henry Cavill look small.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I wonder how Henry Cavill feels about that. Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm not the big guy. I'm just a handsome leading man. This won't do at all, Matthew.
So, okay, we've got John Cena. But I'm thinking we need a bit of old classic Hollywood. A legend of the series. And that is, I'm thinking we had a bit of Samuel L. Jackson in. Just to add to it.
The very same Samuel L. Jackson as...
So, Matthew Vaughn, all-star... We've got a Matthew Vaughn spy movie. Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard, John Cena, Samuel L. Jackson. And coming at the rear, Mr. Bryan Cranston. He is also in this film.
I'm sorry? How have we not heard about this until now?
It blew my mind. I was like, Argyle, that's a weird movie. Let's just check who's in this. Oh, Henry Cavill, fucking hell. Okay, Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh, Bryan Cranston. Oh, Samuel L. Jackson, John Cena. Oh.
These are all stars. They're all stars, Connor.
Also, Dua Lipa will be acting in the movie, but also she will be creating original music for the title track and score.
It's like a better James Bond. They're doing James Bond, but I'm interested in it.
I think they're doing James Bond, but like all-star James Bond.
Yeah, are they just making a play and be like, no, we're the spy franchise now?
Maybe Matthew Vaughn is thinking Henry Cavill should have been James Bond, so I'm just going to do him as James Bond.
That man was absolutely in talks to be James Bond, like, definitely.
If he's not, they're wasting their time.
Because he's the best human. He's like the peak human, basically, is what I'm saying. Then you have everyone else on that cast.
Yeah, and so, I mean, when the fact that Bryan Cranston was like the sixth name I shouted out...
Yeah.
Like, because you've got Samuel L. Jackson, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell. How many Oscar nominations? Sam Rockwell... Bryce Dallas Howard. I wonder how many Emmys are between them, or Golden Globes.
Probably heaps. Like, you could probably melt down all of the gold, like, in the trophies that all of those people have won, and it would weigh more than the cast, I would wager.
Bryan Cranston has won no trophies. What has he ever done? Nothing.
Little show called Malcolm in the Middle, Connor.
Actually, to be fair, you know what? I love Malcolm in the Middle, so yes.
It's really good. It's a really, really good show. Do you know Sam Rockwell's 52?
Is he?
He wears it well, doesn't he?
He's looking well.
He's looking well for 50. I'm just thinking of him in Iron Man 2, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, how are we feeling about... What is your excitement level for a spy movie directed by Matthew Vaughn with this cast?
Higher than Indiana Jones by quite a stretch, I would say.
I would say so. I mean, it is set for theatrical release next year. which is mad. We've never even heard of this.
I can't wait. I'm genuinely excited for this film, and I've not been genuinely excited for a film in ages.
Like, it's a fast-paced spy movie. Now, it is coming to Netflix, which is interesting. So,
class, I have that.
Oh, man. That's an app I've heard of. So, yeah, they're doing this movie for Netflix, and it's coming out with this cast. I mean, think of the Graham Norton couch is all I can say.
It's going to be so good. It's mad that that cast is doing a Netflix movie as well. Like, that's a good get for Netflix.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just keep that in mind. That movie is coming out next year. If I could I want to talk about that movie every week. So I'll see if I can find more news next week, because I'm fascinated about how that cast has snuck up on us.
Even just when the book is published, let's just read it together.
Yeah, let's have a book club.
Book club. I'm not in this heat.
I can't read. Read it to me. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this is new Star Trek movie is happening, Shaun. There's been lots of talk because, of course, you mentioned it, Tarantino. He was involved and then he wasn't involved, but the new Star Trek movie is moving forward with the WandaVision director, Matt Shakman, set to direct the film. Now, this will also have Chris Pine and his crew returning.
Right. So it's a continuation then of the same movies that we've had already. It's been a long time since the last one of those, hasn't it?
It was 2016 was the last one. And the last one, I mean, was fun, I suppose, but it's a long time.
It is a long time, but I also think that, like, I think I've said this before on the show, that those movies can just exist and you can just tell space stories. Like, it doesn't have to be... I get that, like, Star Trek is Star Trek, but that's why there's a Star Trek TV show to do, like, the big in-depth character studies and the nature of man and all that. But a movie can just be a space adventure at times, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's done by the WandaVision director, so I don't know what to expect.
So, and of course, WandaVision this week was nominated for, like, all of the Emmys. Like, they just gave them all the nominations. So he's kind of coming off that big success, like, okay. And then they timed this perfectly to be like, see that guy who's got, like, Best Director Emmy nominated? Yeah, he's now the director of the next Star Trek film.
Now, do you think going from TV, like, you know, episodic to film, like, would that be an interesting change, do you think?
Now, he's also been involved in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is very TV, but he's also been involved with Fargo and Game of Thrones, which I think would be like movie level productions anyway, so I don't think that'd be an issue with it whatsoever. Also, WandaVision had a budget of like 200 million, so
that's
what can you do?
True, yeah. It's essentially a movie. Yeah, I think he did the Hard Home episode of Game of Thrones.
I was thinking his name looked familiar, and so like if he did Hard Home, like nothing that could happen there would faze him in that regard.
Yes, yeah, like he's well able to do big scale, I would say.
And also getting Pine back with the rest of that crew. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if there's that much of a desire to get that crew back, but that's not a knock on that crew, because I think that crew is very likeable, and of course Chris Pine is a very charismatic man in the lead. It's just a case of, it has been a few years. Is the interest still there? Because I think it was pretty big after like 2009 in the first one, and it made it cool again. But
yeah, it was like a resurgence.
Yeah, and then the second one was a bit iffy because, you know, because Benedict was there. But the third one was fun. So I'm interested in why they took this long. Because I think there was a lot of fights about reboots, and if it's a sequel or a reboot, or if Tarantino's going to do it. And now I think eventually they've just settled on doing another one.
Yeah, I think they just had to come to terms with the fact that maybe they're not all billion-dollar movies. But, like, a $700 million movie is still very, very good.
Yes, like, and Star Trek is such a big name, so I think you're guaranteed at least $500 million. Yeah,
like, your marketing is done for you since the 60s, basically.
Yeah, and so the number of Emmys, by the way, came to 23 Emmy nominations.
23
for one division.
23 sounds like it should be a record, like it made history.
That's a lot of nominations for one film, or for one series. They'll probably win like one.
Yeah, but it's just nice to be nominated.
There are also new seasons of Star Trek Discovery and Picard are actually on Paramount Plus as well. So
they're meant to be real good, those shows.
Yeah, and so like Star Trek is having its own little like resurgence on Paramount Plus, and so if they can bring that back, like if they can get that old night hype back for this one, I think that'd be pretty great. Like go in a different direction.
And like you say, there are Star Trek fans. There will always be Star Trek fans. So like you have that built in. So make a movie that the fans will like. Maybe
that seems like a bold strategy, but.
Well, look, if my name ain't Ryan Johnson.
Worked out well for Star Wars. They always nail it for what the people want.
Absolutely spot on in terms of fan acknowledgement.
So, Shaun, we are finishing off this week with news of Mr. Tom Hiddleston. Now, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's been in a series recently called Loki. It's been a bit under the radar.
Very good joke.
It's a dumb joke there, just to finish today.
Right, no. Experience it, Connor. Experience what it feels like.
It's too hot. Leave me be.
It's so hot.
So Tom Hiddleston is... Tom Hiddleston is set to return as Loki in not only Loki Season 2, but... Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness shot. So, here's what we're going to do. Do you want to do spoilers here for Loki?
Yes, I think that will be easier. I also think you are fully intending to do spoilers, so if I said no, it would have been awkward.
I'm willing to talk around it. I'm willing to not talk about anything that happens and just guess maybe he's talking about what happened in Thor.
Different Lokis.
Maybe it's... This Loki seems a bit dead to me.
Spoilers for Loki, okay?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
So
isn't that fucking mad?
Oh, I can't believe Loki killed Mobius. That was a huge thing.
He's gonna have to walk in. Doctor Strange is gonna just look at him and just be like, I left you for 5 minutes and now look what you did.
Beaten to death with his own jet ski. My God.
And he's just like, it wasn't me. It was like, well, it was me, but it wasn't me. You know what I mean? Who did this?
Yeah, so Loki looks to be in another timeline or universe of the TVA where no one remembers him. But presumably Doctor Strange finds him?
Yeah, I mean, it could be an idea that Doctor Strange... I think from the Loki series, and we're probably... I mean, this will definitely come up in our Patreon review, but the case is that this will just be a clean-up job. Like, Doctor Strange has now 150 million different timelines, and he might come across Loki, and Loki... what happened, he'll come across Loki, and Loki will be like, look, I know what happened, you're not going to believe me, but it wasn't my fault. I promise.
Oh, the God of Mischief? Yeah, fair.
The one that I'm telling the truth, I swear, but I realise I've put you in a bit of a muddle.
Yeah, like Multiverse of Madness seems to be patching up all of the shit that went down at the end of Loki and possibly WandaVision.
And possibly Spider-Man No Way Home.
And possibly Falcon and Winter... No, not that one.
No, not that far.
But yeah, like patching up all the... See, I think Far From Home is reacting still to Loki and things like that. I think that's the reason... Because I think Doctor Strange is showing up in Far From Home, and I think that's going to be to like exposit, and then he goes off and solves it in his own movie.
And I think the solving will happen with Loki. Like, Loki will turn up and be like, I know what happened. Like, because obviously Doctor Strange is on the back foot. Because he's just going to see all this shit happening, and he's like, what is going on? Like, he's putting out fires. So he would need that scene with Loki, where Loki just sits him down and just tells him what happened, especially because, and I mean, Disney Plus is big, but you need to explain that why it's happening to people.
Yeah, because people are not going to get that who are just coming in off the street to see a movie.
And so
the thing about it as well, Doctor Strange also doesn't have the time stone anymore.
No, that's interesting.
It was put back by Steve Rogers, back to where they got it from the Ancient One, in the past, in the Battle of New York. They put it right back where they got it. So Doctor Strange no longer has any control over the flow of time.
But will the time travel is fucked though, because they put it back, but then did the future still happen the same way that he got it?
But the future one was then, because they were living in the timeline that Thanos destroyed all the gems, reduced them to atoms. That's their Infinity Stone. Right,
okay. So then is he going to just be a lot less powerful? But then how does he garner in all the universes?
Well, he can always travel to different dimensions. And if one of those dimensions is the quantum realm, he can time travel, same as all the Avengers did. But he can't control that.
And the quantum realm will also come into this, because there's a certain character in episode 6 of Loki who is in Ant-Man 3, is it? Yeah, Ant-Man 3.
Yeah, no, it's the same actor. Possibly a different character. It'll definitely come up in the Loki thing. But yeah, Jonathan Majors shows up.
Jonathan Majors is appearing in both of them. He plays a certain character in Loki. He will play a version of that character in the quantum realm.
And that character canonically has versions. Or variants, you might say.
You could say that. So I think Loki... It could be an idea that Loki could be an Ant-Man as well. Like, Loki gets dragged along as part of the crew to be like, I want to put this right because I caused this mess.
Could be. It very well could be. But that, I'm really excited to see where they go with all this, because it's... Sometimes you can feel like a movie or a studio is playing it safe, and you know exactly how they're going to solve problems. I have no fucking clue where any of this is going.
Yeah, and I think that's because it's such a big thing to do with a series. I'm sure we'll probably discuss this again, but the idea that it's not just a leap, or some series will do a big twist, but in reality it's not that big. It's or else it'll be a bit of an empty thing. It's oh my god, our lead character was shot. Oh no, he's fine, he had a bulletproof vest. It was all
a dream.
That was just for the ad break of the last season. So, oh man. But then, what this did was, at the end of this series, took the MCU and just kicked it off a cliff. It's there's no going back. This is after happening.
Yeah, you can't just solve this. You can't, and look, that's not to say cliffhangers are the only way to make people watch the next movie, but that ending of Loki was one of the most effective cliffhangers I've seen. But
it was effective because it has a knock-on effect. Because it's going to be solved. It's a cliffhanger for him and Loki, but we know that this is going to have repercussions for everything else.
Yes, yeah. Down the line. Years down the line, maybe.
For the whole next phase.
Yeah, I would love this to get as batshit insane as regular comic books are. I would love if it became just nonsense.
Loki is just he's there and he's trying to explain everything, and Doctor Strange is I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, this has never come up before.
We broke, imagine the conversation, we broke the timeline.
We broke time.
We broke time. I know that you're pretty big at the time, Doc, but we broke time. We got to go back to the future.
Oh, we fucked it up. And then Rhodey comes up and he's I heard Back to the Future.
So, Shaun, that is it for this week's Movie Mondays. That's pretty big. Loki appearing in other movies is that gets my my nerd senses tingling, because I'm just oh man, that's pure comic book. If he starts appearing just in other people's stories, and they've been doing it non-stop ever since, but when something this big happens, like Infinite on Crisis, or Crisis on Infinite Earths, I should say, God. Like, if something that big happens, normally what happens in DC is everyone piles in together. And so everybody's in everybody's story because the whole universe is collapsing. So everybody's involved. And so that's what I want to see with this.
Yeah, and it could be really good. Like, this is a tangent. I want to explain it at some point. There's a thing called Secret Wars in Marvel Comics, and basically all of the universes basically crash together, or some force just pulls a bunch of heroes onto a world and makes them all fight.
It's how Miles Morales comes to Earth. Exactly
the same way. So, like, that would be a cool thing to do. It's like, hey, here's all these alternate characters from alternate universes. Now they're all in the main timeline.
Oh boy. Look, we will leave it there for this week. I'm sure this will definitely come up at some stage. It'll also be in our Loki review. We will delve into this so much more. We'll be doing that over on our Patreon this week. That will be discussing episode 5 and 6 of Loki. So if you want to listen to that, head on over to our Patreon. The link is down below, Shaun. But would you like to take us out?
Yes, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thanks goes out to everyone who supports us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Everyone who supports us over there, $5 a month, you get movie reviews, you get the Loki review that Connor mentioned, that will be coming out soon as well. We do it in 2-week kind of batches, so we have more to talk about. And big shout out has to go to Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, Chris Nolan, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Tom Hiddleston, Don Cheadle, Anthony Mackie. God, lads, thanks for signing up. Really appreciate it.
That's actually really nice.
You didn't have to do that. Look, if you have any scoops, send them our way. Would really appreciate that. Thank you also to Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball. Joe, Heroes for Hire is brought to you by the Nightwing movie, Lil Dicky's Big Adventure, coming to a post-virtual cloudaplex. Róisín, Schrödóisìn, Hally, Ryan, Right Time, Evanson, Shaun, Heroes Don't Do That, Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah, Florida Gal Green, Anna, Maureen has the fry on, Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky, what was a movie that scarred you as a kid, McGrew? Mine for a while was Small Soldiers, but now I really like Small Soldiers.
I don't have a movie. I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel when I was like 5, and I was fully convinced that like vampires were going to eat me when I was asleep for like a good year afterwards.
Right, okay, that's actual scarring.
For like a good year I was like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to die, because they kept killing people in those series.
Well, this is it.
This is every night. I was going to like play school the next day, like, well, I might not be back, guys. I gotta go home.
Between the ages of 5 and 6, you lived every day as if it was your last.
Exactly.
Thank you also goes to Danny McLaughlin, Ray, and somehow Luke returned.
Oh.
Yeah, yes, it's mad how that can be a line in a script and it makes sense.
Somehow.
You don't need to know, lads. It's like in the Hero or Zeros, where it's just like, this has never been explained as to why it was important.
Yeah. Like in comic books, like, he somehow, miraculously, strangely survived the explosion.
Yeah, or the best one is when a sentence ends with, he was seemingly killed. But thank you to everyone who supports us over there. If you want to join those fine people, head on over to the Patreon, link in the description. Also, there's a merch store and all of our social media links. But the best way you can ever help to support the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Ciara Lawler.
I have been Shaun.
And we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.